Chapter 1581, Deliberately Biased. If she could, the first person Miaojing wanted to create trouble for was those magazines press that reported the matter indiscriminately. News agencies who only knew how to make false reports without concrete evidence shouldn't even exist in the first place. They would only cause the good social atmosphere to become foul. Old Zai, I really don't mean to chide anyone, but aren't there any regulations for this matter? You will just let them report this indiscriminately? The central government allows this. How could that be? Zai Yaowai shook his head. It had been so many years. Miao Miao's character was still the same as when she was young. She had a fiery temper and was very anxious. This matter created an opportunity for us to take a look at the structure now. Once the limelight is over, we will take care of those who should be taken care of and won't let anyone escape. Was it that easy to attack the people from the central government? If there were any rumors about Jiaonan, would she still be able to take on the position of the Minister of Foreign Affairs back then? Did they really think that the people from the central government and the leaders didn't know anything about the situation below and dared to casually use and promote anyone? It was impossible for the China leadership team to use someone who couldn't be used and malign someone just because of some rumors. It could only be said that those who wanted to create trouble didn't understand the central government fully. Don't be anxious about this matter. As a junior, Nan isn't even anxious. Why are you so anxious instead? Zai Yaowai felt a bit helpless that Miaojing wasn't as steady as Jiaonan. He always felt that this mother and daughter-in-law relationship was quite different. Haven't you seen it? Which influential media and news agency dared to report indiscriminately about this matter? When the time comes and Nan has clarified the matter, these news agencies would spread the truth immediately and rectify Nan's name. Have some patience, Miao Miao. Learn from Nan. Be more steady. As the party concerned, in the face of so many sharp and untrue attacks, Jiaonan, who was only in her 30s, stood firmly in place and didn't feel sad at all. Through this incident, Zai Yaowai once again had a deeper understanding of Jiaonan. He always believed that Jiaonan could handle this matter well and wouldn't panic. However, he didn't expect that Jiaonan could be so calm that it was as if she was just a bystander in this matter. Zai Yaowai agreed once again that Zai Sheng was simply lucky to have fancied Jiaonan back when she was still young. At this age, he was still surprised by Jiaonan's outstanding performance. 10 years ago, Jiaonan was still childish. Zai Sheng's foresight back then wasn't as sharp as now. It was purely out of appreciation for the opposite sex that Zai Sheng would like Jiaonan. He wasn't standing in the Zai family's perspective to choose a suitable candidate to be the Zai family's daughter-in-law. It was precisely because of this that Zai Yaowai understood that sometimes, luck was rarer than capabilities. Both his son and daughter-in-law were so lucky that people would be jealous and envious of them. Zai Yaowai felt at ease. Miaojing frowned. Is that so? You're not just coaxing me? If that's the case, why hasn't there been any movement at all? It wasn't just a day or two since this happened. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been so anxious. I get angry when I think about it. What kind of person is she? To think she had the cheek to cry in front of the camera and tell everyone that they are biological sisters. I really don't understand why she didn't feel shameless when she said this. If they were biological sisters, why would Jiao Zijin dare to smear Nan's reputation? The triplets already knew what had happened to Jiaonan when she was young. As such, the Zai family paid a lot of attention not to let the triplets see the nonsensical words Jiao Zijin had said or for them to get involved in this matter. The Zai family was worried that the 3 children were still young and couldn't control their emotions well. Even Miaojing, an adult, couldn't be of help in this matter, let alone the triplets. Since they couldn't be of help, it was useless for them to know and let their mood for studying be affected. Thus, it was better not to let the 3 children know about this. Zai Yaowai poured a glass of water for Miaojing. See, you're still not listening. Do you only know what kind of person Jiao Zijin is for the first time today? Of course, Zai Yai was quite convinced by Qiao Zijian. Money moved people's hearts. In order to lead a good life, Qiao Zijian was so shameless and thick-skinned to have done this completely without thinking. Did she still have any dignity left? Miao Jing waved her hands in irritation. Fine, I'm not going to mention it again. The more we chat, the angrier I am. Such a person would definitely not lead a good life in the future. Her parents had published a clarification note to break off all ties with her, yet she doesn't know how to reflect on this. Qiao Zijian must have completely inherited Ding Jiyi's cold temperament. This mother and daughter pair shared the same character. What made Miao Jing angry was that there was still a way to deal with Qiao Zijian. If they said no money was given, no money would be given. Even if Qiao Zijian kicked up a fuss and threw all her face, she didn't need to think about getting a single cent from Qiao Nan. However, Qiao Nan could ignore Qiao Zijian but not Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi had given birth to Qiao Nan. In terms of morality and human nature, it wasn't that good for Qiao Nan to completely ignore Ding Jiyi. If Qiao Nan led an ordinary life now, the criticism Qiao Nan faced would be relatively less. However, Qiao Nan had a high status and received a lot of inheritance from elder linear. Miao Jing knew that there were a lot of unreasonable people in society who bad-mouthed others nowadays, and they were deliberately biased. It was precisely because of this that even if they were unwilling to, due to their status in society, they had to go against their wishes and let Ding Jiyi lead a good life. Of course, they didn't lack this amount of money. It was just that it was infuriating to let a person like Ding Jiyi spend their money. She would rather use this amount of money to build a school or subsidize poor students to study than to let Ding Jiyi gain from it. Thinking of middle-aged women who were of Ding Jiyi's age, most of them were still working and supporting themselves. Who would be like Ding Jiyi, having worked for less than 5 years when she was already in her 50s? To be honest, it was difficult to find people who could enjoy life similar to Ding Jiyi in this world. Miao Jing didn't understand why a heartless person like Ding Jiyi was luckier than ordinary people and could enjoy the monthly allowance provided by Qiao Nan. There was no reason for this. It was better to treat Ding Jiyi like Qiao Zijian, leaving her to die on her own. Even if she wasn't left to die on her own, Ding Jiyi should at least be forced to support herself and not be dependent on others to survive. Before Miao Jing married, she was a very independent woman. Her parents had died early as they were helping old Master Zai, causing her to become an orphan. Chapter 1582, Fine for the time being. Even though she had no choice but to be fostered by her uncle, she had never shirked away from chores while staying at her uncle's house. While living in a large community, the chores that she did were comparable to an average male's. Miao Jing would never understand women like Ding Jiyi who relied first on their husbands, then on their daughters, and never relied on their own efforts. She really wanted to teach annoying women like Ding Jiyi a lesson. Just thinking about it made her blood boil, and she gulped down the glass of water that Zai Yai had poured for her. Yes, I'll have to do it. If I don't do it, I won't even need to have dinner tonight. I'll be full from my anger. I might even lose sleep tonight from being so angry. People like Ding Jiyi were too scary. She was even more vicious than Qiao Zijian. Mom, eat some fruits. Qiao Nan took some cut fruits from the auntie's hands and passed them to Miao Jing. These fruits are delicious. Her mother-in-law had an even greater reaction to the mention of Qiao Zijian and Ding Jiyi than she herself did. Having been praised by her father-in-law earlier, Qiao Nan was actually rather embarrassed. It was not that she was not angry, but she had already been furious her entire life. Qiao Nan had always felt that even if she had not been knocked down by a car in her previous lifetime, she would have been driven to her death by anger because of her biological mother. Since she already had experience being driven to her death by anger, this meant nothing to Qiao Nan today. She had fought greater battles. Thus, this was nothing much to Qiao Nan, and there was really no way that she was going to get agitated over this. She had faced even greater battles and even more shameful things, but she had always prevailed in the end. In the face of these bitter fruits, there was nothing Xiao Nan could do but swallow them reluctantly. Just like in her previous lifetime, all the money that she had given eventually ended up in Qiao Zijin's pockets and became Qiao Zijin's dowry. There was nothing she could do. After taking the money, Ding Jiyi even asked for more living allowances. She had to take on even more part-time jobs just to satisfy Ding Jiyi. Now, Ding Jiyi held on tightly to every single cent that Xiao Nan gave her, without giving Qiao Zijin anything. After getting divorced from Zhou Zheng, Qiao Zijin was even worse off than in her previous life. She had no status, much less a dowry or a house. Now that her money was no longer going to Qiao Zijin, Xiao Nan was rather happy. Her expectations were not that high after all. After being coaxed by Xiao Nan, as well as persuaded by Zai Yaowai, Miao Jing's anger dissipated and she smiled. Fine, I'm already such an old person. I don't need you guys to coax me like you do the three children. I'm not angry. What's there to be angry over? You guys just have to remember not to let this kind of people take advantage of you. It's late. Let's eat. It won't be good to starve ourselves. Now that there was a smile on Miao Jing's face, the Zai family felt a sudden relief, and everyone could finally have their meals happily. Miao Jing had suffered a great deal while she was younger, and her health was not much better than Zai Yaowai's. Old Lin and Old Master Zai had left on the same night. Since then, the Zai family had paid more attention to the health of the elderly in their family. Thus, Miao Jing became the family's focus. Everyone tried to keep Miao Jing in a good mood so that her health would not be affected. The Zai family did not want to let the three children know about Qiao Zijin's situation for the time being. Unfortunately, while the matter had not made news nationally, it was still quite well known within the capital. After the three children first heard about the situation of Qiao Zijin and Ding Jiyi, the three children had been rather sensitive about anything related to these two people. Especially this time, Qiao Zijin had kicked up a big fuss in the capital and had even implicated their most beloved mother. It was almost impossible for the three children to not have heard anything about this matter. Not only had they heard about the whole story, but they had already flown into a rage because of it. They were even more infuriated than Miao Jing. The three children were so furious that they wanted to rush home from school to check for themselves and see if Xiao Nan was doing all right and whether she had been bullied into tears. The three children wished very much to go home. Unfortunately, they were still studying, and in a boarding school of all places. No matter how upset they were, they had to wait until the weekend break to return home. But the three children were shocked when they saw Zai Sheng come to fetch them. "Dad, why are you the one fetching us? Where's Mom?" Indeed, their mom was distraught. Otherwise, why would their dad come? Usually, their mom was the one who fetched them from school. "I let your mom take a rest." "Why? Are you disappointed that I'm here to pick you guys up?" Zai Sheng raised his eyebrow as he questioned the children in a disgruntled tone. Bao laughed. "Dad, how can that be? It's not that we're unhappy that you're picking us up. It's just that we're used to Mom coming to pick us up. Since we didn't see Mom today, we were just surprised. We didn't mean anything else. Don't accuse us falsely." San Bao coquettishly rubbed Zai Sheng's arm. "Dad, I'm famished. Let's hurry home. I miss Grandma's cooking." And she missed her mom too. She wanted to know whether her mom was doing all right. If her mom was unhappy, she would be her mom's comforter. "You three devils!" Zai Sheng could see clearly the three children's concern toward Xiao Nan. "Hurry and get in the car. We'll talk about it when we get home. Your mom is much stronger than you think." Nan Nan had survived through so many trials and tribulations throughout her life. Besides, Nan Nan would hardly take to heart this trouble created by that loser, Qiao Zijin. San Bao stuck out her tongue before obediently climbing into the car. Bao and San Bao sat behind, while De Bao sat in the front passenger seat. "Dad! Is Mom all right?" De Bao did not wish to address that woman as his elder auntie. In his short life, he had never met anyone as malicious as Qiao Zijin. The one who had framed his mother was his own aunt. And the purpose of that was simply so that she would not have to work and let his mother support her unconditionally. De Bao seriously did not want to recognize her as his relative based on either emotions or rationality. All right. If mom is doing all right, then why didn't she come to pick us up? That was not their mom's way of doing things. Zai Sheng sighed. It's not that Nan Nan didn't want to come and pick you up. It's just that it's unsuitable for her to do so for the time being. This matter has blown up within the capital, and many eyes are on her now. If Nan Nan continues to fetch you as usual, you might get photographed and exposed. Then, it will no longer be so easy for you to return to school. Nan Nan did not wish for this matter to affect the lives of her children in school. It was all right for her to just swallow this bitter pill for the time being because she knew that the tides would turn if she would just wait it out. But she was afraid that the three children were still young and immature. If they were to be affected by this matter, their grades might plunge, or they might even be emotionally scarred. Chapter 1583, Relaxing with a Holiday. In the face of Qiao Zijin's accusations, even Qiao Nan, who had been calm initially, would become enraged and have the urge to kill Qiao Zijin. We're not afraid. San Bao puffed up her chest. We're willing to go through thick and thin with mom. She hated the fact that she was still young and could not do anything to help her mom now that her mom had encountered such a huge problem. Thus, how could she hide far away for the sake of her own peace? Bao did not say anything, but he chewed on his lip, showing that he had the same thoughts as San Bao. Zai Sheng smiled. These three children were indeed raised well. I'm glad you think this way. But you're still young and don't understand how parents think. Your mom has always been strict toward you and has never spoiled you. That's because she's afraid that you three will become spoiled children and that it will be to your disadvantage. But in such a situation, Nan Nan would rather carry the burden alone and leave only the good things for you three. In front of the three children, Qiao Nan was considered to be a strict mother. There was no other choice. Other than Qiao Nan and Zai Sheng, all the elders spoiled these three children. The three children had all taken their turns to pluck old Lin's hair and tug on old Master Zai's beard. Everyone else trembled in fear at the sight of these two old men, but in the face of these three rowdy children's antics, the two men were not only not angry, but they even laughed heartily. It was evident how much control the three children had over the elders. Zai Sheng was a truly stern father, but he spent too little time at home. If Qiao Nan were to be any less strict to these three children, there would really be no rules or boundaries for them. Qiao Nan was worried that her children would end up as the second, third, and fourth Qiao Zijin. With Qiao Zijin as an example right before their eyes, there was no way for Qiao Nan to loosen her reins on her children. Sometimes, Qiao Nan even worried that the elders were being too kind to the children to the point of spoiling them. As a mother, she was, unfortunately, the strictest. And because of that, she worried that the children might grow up to hate her or resent her. Today, the three children proved that not only did they not hate Qiao Nan, but they even loved her very much. She was their most beloved mother. No matter how smart the three children were, they were still adolescents. Thus, they naturally did not fully understand their mother's heart. But what they did understand was that their mother's love for them was completely sincere and genuine. "Dad, are you not going to do anything now that Mom's name has been smeared like that? You seem like quite a failure." Bao was not willing to let it slide. Although they were still young and could not help, their father was already an adult, and even a chief. He was powerful. But why was it that he could not do anything when their mother faced such a problem? Bao could not do anything himself, but he wanted to encourage Zai Sheng to get revenge for Qiao Nan. This young man's brain was especially flexible and creative. Thankfully, Zai Sheng was driving. Otherwise, Zai Sheng would definitely have knocked Bao on the head. He was already displaying such bad behavior at such a young age. Don't worry. This matter is still a little sensitive. I can't do anything when the time is not yet right. Do you think I'll let something bad happen to my own wife? If he still needed the 3 children to teach him what to do in such a situation, he should just let the 3 children parent him instead. Bao huffed. That was just a nice way of putting it. This matter had already gone on for a few days, but he had not yet seen anyone taking control of the situation. Instead, they had just allowed the matter to develop. His father said that he knew what to do, so why was he not taking action? What was the use of just talking with no action? If they just relied on words, he could hoist his mother up into heaven. His words were much sweeter than his father's. That's right. Once he reached home, he would use his words to coax his mother to make her happy. At the very least, he would help lift his mother's spirits. He was not going to let such a matter get his mother down. With Zai Sheng driving, he quickly reached home with the 3 children. When they alighted from the car, the 3 children did not hesitate to abandon their father who had been their driver. They rushed toward Jiaonan, each loudly shouting "Mom! Mom, I haven't seen you in a week. I miss you so much. Mom, give me a hug." San Bao was like a sparrow returning to its nest, rushing into Jiaonan's embrace with open arms and using her honey-sweet voice to butter up Jiaonan. Fortunately, Jiaonan did not suffer from diabetes. Otherwise, Jiaonan would faint from just hearing San Bao's sweet talk. Holding her daughter's lean and growing body, Jiaonan smiled sweetly. "You're being so sweet the moment you come home. Did you get into trouble in school? Or did you score badly in an exam? Are you trying to put me in a good mood so that you won't be scolded? Mom, you're looking down on me. I did very well in my exams." San Bao was disgruntled. She took out her report card, showing this month's exam results for Jiaonan to see. "See, Mom, I'm awesome, right? It's the 7-day National Day holiday. Mom, will I get a reward for scoring so well this time? I don't want Dad to bring me to play during this holiday. I want you to go with me." Leaving the capital for a few days and not having the news haunting her, her mom's mood would definitely improve. And thus, she would no longer be so affected by this matter. On the way back home, San Bao had thought long and hard and had finally thought of a solution. The 3 children and Jiaonan would go on a holiday together to heal her heart. "But don't forget that you guys spent your birthdays in school this year. Don't you want to make up for it?" The 3 children were now in junior high school. On the day of their birthday, they were in school. Yesterday, Jiaonan was unable to go to school to celebrate the 3 children's birthday. Now that the children were back, Jiaonan wanted to make it up to them. Bao blinked and innocently sat beside Jiaonan. Of course. Of course we'll have to make up for it. This year, our wish is for you to go on a holiday and have fun with us during National Day. Mom, I want to go to Xi'an. I've heard that there are many delicious snacks in Xi'an, and I want to see the terracotta warriors. Xi'an? All right. Bao nodded. He was rather interested in that place too. But to tell the truth, he was willing to travel anywhere he had never been to. In particular, he wanted to see the terracotta warriors and experience for himself what was described so vividly in his textbooks. That's fine. After the driver, Zai Sheng, parked his car, he overheard this part of the conversation. Nan, it's a good idea for you to go on a holiday with the 3 children. Chapter 1584, We are going together. I will join you. It's been long since we went out as a family. Zai Sheng knew that he was the reason that they didn't get to travel together. He worked hard for many years to become the youngest chief in the country, and he finally had some free time after achieving his goals. This would be the perfect chance to view the magnificent sceneries of his beloved nation. In a few years, the kids would have to focus on their academics, and there wouldn't be much time to travel. Their work and marriage would follow soon after, and Xiaonan and Zai Sheng might be too old to have fun when the children were finally free. San Bao's eyes lit up. Dad, are you serious? Are you really joining us? She had dreamed of this day since she was a child. The problem was that she could only meet her father a few times a year. To her surprise, her childhood dream was about to be fulfilled, and she couldn't contain her excitement. At this moment, San Bao was ready to cheer as long as Zai Sheng nodded. This would be the best news that she'd heard in a few days. De Bao and Bao didn't say anything, but their curved lips reviewed their joy. Yes. Zai Sheng didn't disappoint. He had seen the anticipation in Xiaonan's eyes. He loved his wife, and he wouldn't leave her hanging. De Bao showed a bright smile for the first time today. What about Grandma and Grandpa? They were spending less time with their grandparents after starting school. If they were to travel during the holidays, Grandma and Grandpa would be lonely. Dad, can we bring Grandma and Grandpa together with us? That's right. We should do that. Bao agreed. It would be fun to travel as a family. We will have enough people to form a tour group if all 7 of us travel together. Miaojing was interested in the plan. Things were a mess in the capital as Qiao Zijin framed Xiaonan. However, Zai Yaowai and Xiaonan told her to stay calm, and all Miaojing could do was to suppress her anger. When she saw the gloat in the neighbors' eyes, Miaojing could feel her blood boil. It was as if these neighbors wanted to watch the Zai family fall. If Zai Sheng and Xiaonan were demoted because of the scandal, someone would have to replace them. In other words, Zai Sheng and Xiaonan's failure would give others in the neighborhood a better shot at promotions. Although they pitted Xiaonan for having a sister like Qiao Zijin, they were more than happy to watch the show. Most of them were secretly pushing their children to high positions. Miaojing really couldn't bring herself to like these selfish neighbors. When they were in Pingcheng, the atmosphere was way friendlier than the capital. That was why Miaojing was interested in traveling with the family. The children rarely spent their holidays at home. Before Xiaonan became the minister, she would take time to bring the kids overseas when she traveled to work. After finishing the job, Xiaonan would let the kids participate in local events and enrich their lives. Miaojing had not had the chance to travel other than business trips with Zai Yaowai. Let's go. Staying in the capital only makes my mood worse. We should free our minds. Miaojing raised her hands in concurrence. Seeing Miaojing support whatever De Bao said, Zai Yaowai glared at her. Go ahead. I'll pass. How could Miao Miao not bring him up when it was a family trip? Grandpa, join us. San Bao knew that Grandpa was the final target, and she wouldn't give up including the whole family. She shuffled to Zai Yaowai's side and grabbed onto his arm. Grandpa, come with us. If you don't join us, I won't get to see you for a week. What should I do if I miss you too much? Do you not love me anymore? Although Elder Lin and Old Master Zai had passed, San Bao had never forgotten about them. She knew that this trick would always work on the 2 of them. Grandpa was younger than the elders, but she figured that it would work the same. Just as she expected, Zai Yaowai couldn't win against his cute granddaughter. All right, stop shaking my arm. Grandpa's bones are falling apart from this. He had been trying to remain reserved all these years. Miaojing knew that Zai Yaowai wanted to go with them, but he needed the kids to appease him. How childish! Shouldn't he be the one coaxing the kids? Miaojing didn't say her thoughts out loud, all she did was mocking her husband in her heart. Chapter 1585, Already. It's settled then. This time, we'll go on a holiday as a family of 7. San Bao jumped around in joy. Well, bad things happened often, but there would always be something to be happy about. Her mom was right. One could not always think negatively and had to look on the bright side of things too. Mom, let's hurry and get ready. Won't we be leaving tomorrow? Should we book plane tickets? I'll book the plane tickets. Zai Sheng took over this task. Miao Jing patted her thigh. Great, you settle the tickets. I'll pack our luggage with Nan Nan. It was still rather warm in October, so other than a few sets of clothes, they had to pack a few more things for the 3 children, such as flu medicine. Just in case. Miao Jing and Xiao Nan had never thought of relying on the 2 men in the house to do something like packing their luggage. Thus, the responsibility of doing so fell on them. While folding clothes to pack into their luggage, Xiao Nan hesitated for a moment. My dad, by that, she did not mean her father-in-law Zai Yawai, but her biological father, Xiao Dongliang. Xiao Dongliang had been looking forward to the 7-day National Day holiday because the 3 children would be home, and he would finally be able to spend some time with his grandchildren. In the past, even if Xiao Nan did not mention it, she had always counted Xiao Dongliang as part of their family due to the 3 children's filial piety. But they had recently found out from their paternal grandmother that such a good grandfather had made a horrible mistake in the past and treated their mother so badly. The 3 children had not had enough time to calm down and smooth out their thoughts and emotions. If they did not smooth it out, there would be resentment in their hearts forever. Many children enter their teenage rebellion period after entering junior high school. The 3 children were just unable to handle their complex feelings in a mature manner and thus threw a small tantrum by ignoring their grandpa, Xiao Dongliang. In comparison to other children, the 3 children saved their parents a lot of worries. But even if the 3 children refused to mention him, Xiao Nan could not do the same. Miao Jing did not stop midway through what she was doing. She had already known that Xiao Nan was a soft-hearted child. Xiao Dongliang's actions had not been as outrageous as Ding Jiyi's or Xiao Zijin's. Hence, she was not at all surprised that Nan Nan would mention Xiao Dongliang. I've spoken to Zai Sheng and asked him to purchase an extra ticket. Hurry and make a call to your dad. Tell him to pack some clothes. He doesn't need to bring anything else. We'll have more than enough. Well, due to Ding Jiyi's and Xiao Zijin's shameless actions, Miao Jing's feelings toward Xiao Dongliang, which had already been mixed to begin with, became even more complicated. One was Xiao Dongliang's wife, and the other was his elder daughter. These 2 heartless women had such a close relationship with Xiao Dongliang. As such, Xiao Dongliang had to take responsibility for their brazen and shameless actions. It was because Xiao Dongliang had not reined in his wife and child that Ding Jiyi and Xiao Zijin had grown into what they were today. But they all lived in the same house under the same roof. Xiao Dongliang had not been influenced by these 2 people and taken part in taking down Xiao Nan. Instead, he clearly had his own limits. With such a contrast, Miao Jing's resentment toward Xiao Dongliang lessened. There was no choice since there was no top-notch stuff in the Xiao family. Only one was relatively better. Xiao Dongliang, who only looked good when comparing with the others of the Xiao family, was a coward. But at least, he was still useful. Miao Jing herself could not leave her grandchildren. She understood the importance of the 3 children to Xiao Dongliang, as well as how much he loved them. If they were all to go on a holiday but leave Xiao Dongliang out, he was sure to feel lonely. But most importantly, Miao Jing had done her calculations. There was really no saving Ding Jiyi and Xiao Zijin. But if the whole Zai family were to go on a holiday and leave Xiao Dongliang behind alone, in these 7 days, Xiao Zijin might find Xiao Dongliang and beg for mercy, even bringing Ding Jiyi along. Then, the 3 of them might band together even closer than before and conspire to take Nan Nan down. If that were to happen, Nan Nan would be too pitiful. People's emotions were fragile, and so were people's hearts. Anyway, she would never leave such an opportunity for Xiao Zijin and Ding Jiyi to take advantage of, so as to prevent them from pulling Xiao Dongliang over to their side again. For Nan Nan's sake, she would rather just fork out more money and bring Xiao Dongliang along with them on their holiday. That would let Xiao Dongliang realize that the only one who was good to him in the Xiao family was Nan Nan alone. She had to help Nan Nan hold on to their ally, Xiao Dongliang, firmly. To give up small profits to make larger ones. Miao Jing understood this principle. She would not ruin her larger plan just because of a moment of anger. If one failed to contain their anger at this moment, they would ruin the overall plan in the long run. Thanks, Mom. Hearing Miao Jing's words made Jiao Nan sigh in relief. She had not expected that her mother-in-law had already thought about this and had even asked Zai Sheng to prepare her father's ticket without her even having said a thing. I'll call my dad now. Jiao Nan did not dawdle as she worried that Jiao Dongliang would have no time to get ready. Jiao Dongliang had been rather surprised to receive this phone call. Seeing Jiao Zijin kicking up a fuss every day, he knew that Jiao Zijin was doing it just to harm Jiao Nan. But other than publicly declaring that he had disowned Jiao Zijin as his daughter, he had done nothing, mainly because he did not know what to do. Every time he saw a news report regarding Jiao Zijin, Jiao Dongliang felt deeply apologetic toward Jiao Nan. This guilt built up so much so that Jiao Dongliang was too ashamed to even take the initiative to contact Jiao Nan. As much as Jiao Dongliang missed the three children, he dared not approach the Zai family. When he saw that the call was from Jiao Nan, Jiao Dongliang had been afraid that Jiao Nan was calling to scold him. But it turned out to be such a pleasant surprise. Jiao Dongliang almost suspected that he was hallucinating. You're bringing me on a holiday? Me? That's right. Brother Zai has already purchased your plane ticket. It's for tomorrow. So hurry and pack a few sets of clothes. We'll prepare the rest. I'll get Brother Zai to pick you up tomorrow morning, and we'll set off together from the Zai family's house. Is that all right? No, there's no need. Jiao Dongliang's voice was shaky, and his eyes expressed his surprise. That'll be too troublesome. The capital is so busy, especially with so many cars around. I'll hail a cab myself and meet you at the Zai family's house. There's no need to trouble Zai Sheng to come over specially to pick me up. I'll go pack my clothes now. Yesterday, he had still been sad about how he would not be able to see the three children over these 7 days of the National Day holiday. But the next moment, Jiao Dongliang was being lifted from hell to heaven. He was as happy as a lark and could not wait to finish packing at the fastest possible speed. All right, go pack your clothes. We're still not done. You should know that there are quite a lot of things to prepare when going on holiday with 3 children. She could tell that Jiao Dongliang was overjoyed, but Jiao Nan did not have anything much to say. Chapter 1586, A Wealthy Elder. Right, the children have more to prepare, so don't miss anything. I will take care of myself. Just look after the kids. Bye. Jiao Dongliang dashed into his room and grabbed a few sets of clothes. He didn't need a suitcase as he stuffed everything into a hiking bag. To a man, traveling is as simple as that. Although the trip was a last-minute call, Jiao Nan and Miao Jing were quick to pack, gathering the essentials within an hour. In the remaining time, they thought about every possible situation to avoid missing out on anything important. What? Did Zai Sheng order tickets to Xi'an? How many of them? The news dumbfounded Peng Yu. Jiao Nan was in trouble, but Zai Sheng still had the mood to travel with the entire family. What the hell was going on? He didn't believe that Zai Sheng had given up on Jiao Nan. Zai Sheng would never do that. 8 of them. 8. Peng Yu did his maths. Old Master Zai is gone, so shouldn't there be 7 of them? Are they taking Jiao Dongliang with them? After Ding Jiyi arrived in the capital, Jiao Nan would only meet her every month to pass her an allowance. She had never met the Zai family, and the 3 kids had no idea that they had a grandma living in the capital. Therefore, the extra ticket wouldn't be for Ding Jiyi. If Ding Jiyi couldn't join the fun, there was no way that Jiao Zijin would be invited. The only one left that could have such privilege was Jiao Dongliang. How generous of him! Wasn't he supposed to protect Jiao Nan from her family? Why is he so nice to Jiao Dongliang? Shouldn't he hate the man who allowed Ding Jiyi and Jiao Zijin to gang up on Jiao Nan? Shouldn't he hold on to his principles? If the Zai family distanced themselves from everyone in the Chiao family, it would have added fuel to the flame. Chiao Nan would be in a worse situation as a result. Peng Yu was disappointed that Chiao Dongliang wasn't on the side of his wife and older daughter, for it would be a great help to his master plan. Why did Chiao Dongliang have to be the special one? Now that Chiao Dongliang was traveling with the Zai family, Chiao Zijin wouldn't have the support from her father for sure. When Peng Yu thought about Ding Ji, his head ached in annoyance. That woman was not only nasty to Chiao Nan, but she also treated others just the same. She had the guts to ask for a fortune from everyone. Maybe she was wittier than Chiao Zijin by a little, but her stupidity was immeasurable. Did she think that money was something so easily obtained? Peng Yu's thoughts couldn't stop the Zai family from their travel plans. The next morning, Chiao Dongliang took a taxi to the Zai family enthusiastically. Miaojing had told the kids that he was coming, so the children weren't surprised to see him. They would be delighted to see Chiao Dongliang in the past. Now, their smiles to him were a little forced. Chiao Dongliang didn't overthink it. He figured that the kids were simply sleep-deprived due to the early flight. Despite the children's awkward expressions, Chiao Dongliang had his spirits high. Alongside the one-sided excitement from Chiao Dongliang, the 8 of them headed for the airport. What? My dad is traveling with the Zai family. When Chiao Zijin received the news, Chiao Dongliang was already on his flight to Xian. Why didn't you inform me earlier? If I knew it, they wouldn't dream of getting on the plane. It would be the perfect chance to show everyone that Chiao Nan is biased against my mom and me. Chiao Zijin's eyes were crimson red. She didn't expect that Chiao Nan turned out to be doing fine. She had caused such chaos, but Chiao Nan didn't even give her a call. The begging for forgiveness that Chiao Zijin imagined from Chiao Nan never happened. In fact, Chiao Nan didn't even bother threatening her. All the harsh replies that Chiao Zijin had prepared had no place to be used. When she was married to Zhou Zheng, she would receive a monthly allowance from him. However, that money was barely enough for her to buy clothes. Things like traveling were too costly for her, so she could only tag along when the Zhou family was to travel. After giving birth to Zhou Ying, the elders put all their attention on the baby girl, and they wouldn't leave her side. Since Zhou Zheng's mother didn't want to leave her granddaughter, traveling became impossible for Chiao Zijin, who had no earning. She knew that Chiao Nan was only traveling to another city, but she was still envious that Chiao Nan had such good in-laws. The Zai family must be rich to bring her father along. If the Zai family didn't mind spending on the Chiao family, was it that big of a deal to give her a house to stay and issue her some allowance? Why did they have to be so stingy? She had also heard that Chiao Nan had loads of money that she inherited from Elder Lin. Chiao Zijin only found out recently that the master of Chiao Nan years ago helped Chiao Nan make a living and raised her status. Most importantly, that old man was a mogul with tons of money. Chapter 1587, Fighting Back. A person like this who was childless had willed everything to Chiao Nan before his death. What she was spending was not Chiao Nan's hard-earned money. Whatever Chiao Nan gave her was that dead old man's money. Even so, Chiao Nan refused. She was so stingy. Even if you had known earlier, you wouldn't have been able to do anything. Chiao Zijin did not believe it and grabbed onto the phone in her hand ever tighter. How would you know I can't do it when I haven't even tried? Even if I can't, there will definitely be someone who can. Those people you lent me aren't good for nothings. Aren't they good at writing? As long as you give them a photo, they will be able to come up with a great story. Thinking about it now, the articles that they come up with should be even more exciting and interesting than those that they have written in the past. Don't you think so? You and I are both clear about what kind of status Chiao Nan's father-in-law holds. If we bring the Zai family into the picture, this piece of news will be explosive and will attract even more attention so that Chiao Nan will have no choice but to bow to public pressure and beg me for mercy. Up until now, Chiao Zijin still had no idea who was silently helping her. After all, they had always communicated with each other through phone calls. She had already asked to meet this person face to face several times, but every time, the other party would refuse. Even though Jiao Zijin expressed that she was willing to hand over a portion of whatever she gained from Jiao Nan through this once this plan was successful, the other party was adamant about not meeting her. Jiao Zijin could not understand that. Were there really people who thought that they had too much money? How could the other party not be moved in the face of such a huge benefit? Even if she stood to gain from this, Jiao Zijin felt that there was something off about this. He. The voice on the other end of the call sneered. Invisibility is frightening. It's good to have brains. You should have some yourself. You know well what kind of status that Zai guy has, and you still have such a naive thought? With the Zai family's contributions to the country, unless the men in the Zai family really betray the party or the country, or commit treason, there's no way the country will give a hoot about these small family disputes even if you air them publicly. Do you really want to seek your own death by singling out one of the country's chief and a former chief? Whoever dared to use Jiao Nan's matter to drag Zai Yayawai and Zai Sheng down was plain foolish. In China, things can be eaten carelessly, but words cannot be spoken carelessly. Even though citizens had the right to the freedom of speech, every adult and legal citizen had to take responsibility for whatever they said. If something went wrong and she accidentally maligned a leader of the country, she could be charged and would be sent to jail for the rest of her life. Is it that serious? Death? Jiao Zijin's voice faltered. Are you deliberately trying to scare me? I didn't kill anyone, and neither did I rob or blackmail anyone. At the very most, she had said some things about them. Was it really that serious? It is that serious. If Jiao Zijin had not been the one to direct this entire show, Peng Yu would not even bother with this fool that was Jiao Zijin. No wonder they were sisters. Jiao Nan had already become the Minister of Foreign Affairs, but Jiao Zijin could only reach her hand out to ask for money. Jiao Zijin's fatal error was playing the game too early. Was that not a waste of his painstaking efforts to arrange everything and all the money he had thrown in? You can make a little trouble at the very most because you are her elder sister. But in the Zai family, you can't afford to offend Zai Yayawai and Zai Sheng in your entire life. Don't create trouble for yourself. If you get on the wrong side of the men of the Zai family, I'll have to apologize because even I won't be able to help you. So, be smart. Jiao Zijin was so frightened that her throat was hoarse. Oh! You won't leave me in the lurch, right? I've done everything because of Jiao Nan. Jiao Nan is the Zai family's daughter-in-law, so offending Jiao Nan is no different from offending the Zai family. Are you here to help me or to harm me? She did not know that offending the Zai family would bring about such dire consequences. They lived in a civil society. She had not committed any crimes. Why would the Zai family be so harsh toward her and force her toward death? Peng Yu rolled his eyes rapidly. Had Jiao Zijin left her IQ in her mother's stomach when she was born? Had she not heard what he said? Zai Yayawai and Zai Sheng were talents that the state viewed highly. As chiefs, this pair of father and son held superior positions within the country. They were core leaders of the nation. If it was really true, it would be quite difficult to handle it. Not to mention how Jiao Zijin talked about Jiao Nan being the person she was targeting. What Jiao Nan did at most was being unfilial and immoral, but it was nothing that was restricted by the law. She could only use discussion and public opinions to suppress Jiao Nan. Jiao Nan had not broken the law, and much less Zai Yayawai and Zai Sheng. Spilling dirt on national leaders and ruining their images in the people's minds was undermining the status of the nation's leaders. It was a great crime that sought to destabilize the country. Jiao Zijin was truly lion-hearted and dauntless to be digging out dirt on these important figures. If it were him, he would never do that. Going anonymous gave a person courage, but it did not mean that he would be innocent no matter what he did. If you continue speaking like this, I think that there's no need for us to continue working with each other. You have to remember that you have nothing to do with Zai Yaowai and Zai Sheng. They are important military figures. Do you think that it's not serious to falsely accuse these important military figures? Qiao Zijian's face paled and beads of cold sweat started forming on her forehead. But I'm their relative. Zai Sheng has seen me before and he even addressed me as his elder sister. I'm his sister-in-law. You're only the Zai family's relative and Zai Sheng's sister-in-law if they acknowledge you. But the question is, do they actually acknowledge you as a relative? Do you think you can just call yourself their relative because you want to? If it was that simple, did you still have to do all these things? Don't say such silly things. Your behavior will just make me think that I'm stupid for helping you. Peng Yu took a deep breath. Perhaps, working with Qiao Zijian was the worst decision he had ever made. With such a collaborator, he was afraid that Qiao Zijian would not even succeed in bringing Qiao Nan down. Worse still, he might even get so angry at Qiao Zijian that he might get sent to the hospital. If one did not have a strong physique, it was best not to interact with Qiao Zijian at all. Otherwise, one was sure to be sent to the hospital after talking to her. Then, what shall I do? The dazed Qiao Zijian asked another stupid question. There's nothing much to do. You haven't dragged the Zai family in any way. Just attack Qiao Nan alone. Based on your kinship with Qiao Nan, and as long as you don't implicate anyone else, especially the Zai family, you can rest assured. Whatever I said earlier won't happen to you if you follow what I say. Chapter 1588, Still a Fool. Now you understand how much fate there was for the stars to have aligned to have the right time and place for you and Qiao Nan to have been born to the same mother. Initially, Peng Yu had thought that he would become the right person who would help Qiao Zijian defeat Qiao Nan. In that way, Qiao Zijian would have all three aspects, the right place, time, and person. Then, he could only say that Qiao Nan was unlucky. But after what had just happened, Peng Yu no longer had such naive thoughts. Perhaps he could be Qiao Zijian's right person, but conversely, Qiao Zijian would definitely not be of much help to him. After hanging up the phone, Peng Yu knocked his forehead. You haven't settled this nicely this time. Before doing anything, I should have gained a good understanding of how Qiao Zijian is as a person and what kind of temper she has. If it was anyone else, or if we used a different method to expose this, the effect could have been much better. Peng Yu had a vague premonition that it would not be a flaw in his plans that would lead to the failure of his plans to not be able to bring down Zai Sheng's wife, Qiao Nan. The greatest mistake he had made was to pick Qiao Zijian as his collaborator. To have Peng Yu have such thoughts toward Qiao Zijian, one could only imagine how foolish Qiao Zijian had been in front of Peng Yu. Chen Jun had been far away in Pingcheng but had always been paying close attention to what was going on in the capital. After learning of these events, he felt thankful on more than one occasion that he had not gotten back together with Qiao Zijian after all. The only reason why he had reconciled with Qiao Zijian was that he had wasted so much of his money on her while he was younger but had never gained anything from it. As such, he deliberately played along with Qiao Zijian. He had never expected that it was such a good decision not to get back together with her. Over 10 years ago, Qiao Zijian had been a fool. 10 years later, Qiao Zijian had grown crow's eyes and wrinkles, but her intelligence had not grown. In fact, her IQ had probably regressed too. If he had married a woman like Qiao Zijian, he would probably die early from needing to worry about a wife like that. Fortunately, he had gotten rid of this burden long ago. More than 10 years ago, in fact. Now, Chen Jun no longer felt sorry for his unrequited investment on Qiao Zijian. He was only thankful that he was decisive. Abandoning her was probably the best thing he had done. Qiao Nan and her family practically spent the entire 7 days of the National Day holiday outside. Only on the night of the 6th did the Zai family and Qiao Dongliang return to the capital with tiredness and joy. It's already so late. I'll get Auntie to make up the guest room. In-law, why don't you rest here for the night and go home tomorrow? It was already 9 o'clock in the night by the time they reached home. Miaojing rubbed her shoulders. She had indeed grown old. When she had flown around all the time in the past, she had never felt sore. But she could not do that anymore. It was always difficult to get tickets for all kinds of transportation during the National Day holidays, just like during the Lunar New Year. Just thinking about it made Miaojing tired. Perhaps, the biggest mistake they made this time was not that they had continued to play at their advanced age, but rather, going on a holiday during the National Day period. There were so many Chinese. Xiao Dongliang put down the things of the three children and smiled politely. That won't be necessary. It's only 9. It won't even be 10 by the time I get home. I'll take my leave first. I won't bother you any further. Xiao Dongliang knew that the Zai family did not really accept him as their in-law. It was not that he did not know the reason. It was because he felt too ashamed to recall the past. As such, other than standing in front of the three children as their grandfather, Xiao Dongliang was too ashamed to face the Zai family. He was afraid that others would mock him for being too shameless. Dad, Auntie has already made up the room. Even if you're not used to it, why don't you just stay the night? I won't stop you from leaving tomorrow. Xiao Nan shook her head. After a few days of being away, she guessed that the house would be all dusty. The blankets had not been aired either. It would be uncomfortable to sleep with a damp blanket. If her father slept over at the Zai family's house for a night and returned home the next day, he could then air the blankets and clean up the house during the day so that he could sleep comfortably at night. That's right, Grandpa. It's already so late. Don't leave. I'm tired. Sanbao yawned. Because of this trip, Sanbao was starting to treat her grandfather, Xiao Dongliang, just like she did before. It was totally unlike her behavior just a week earlier, when her expression had been cold upon seeing Xiao Dongliang. If you don't agree to it, I won't be able to sleep in peace. Grandpa, just stay the night. De Bao's words carried more weight than San Bao's. Once De Bao said that, Xiao Dongliang could not help but nod his head while looking at that face which bore an uncanny resemblance to his son-in-law. It was as though Xiao Dongliang was still in the army and had just met his officer. He had no choice but to follow his superior's orders. The moment Xiao Dongliang agreed, Sanbao smiled. Grandpa, I'll go wash up first. I'm really sleepy and tired. Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Grandpa. The three children were too sleepy, and one by one, they all yawned and stretched while walking back to their own rooms. Before the three children graduated from primary school, while they were still in grade 5, Qian Nan had arranged for the three children to sleep in separate rooms. So right now, San Bao slept in a room, while Er Bao and De Bao shared a room. Initially, San Bao had not been used to having a room to herself and had thrown a small tantrum. Thankfully, with Xiao Nan comforting her, she slowly got used to it in under a week's time. Dad, although it's already 9 o'clock, I think it's better for us to eat something before we sleep. The moment Xiao Nan landed in the capital, she made a call home and asked the auntie to prepare an easily digestible supper, something like nutritious porridge. At such a late hour, the auntie could not cook a complicated porridge, but she was still capable of cooking an easier dish like porridge with lean pork and century eggs. By now, the porridge had been cooked such that the grains were soft and mushy. Even if one drank an entire bowl of porridge, there would probably be nothing left in their stomach once they went to the bathroom. Fine. It was his first time staying over at the Zai family's house and Xiao Dongliang was not used to it. Therefore, whatever Xiao Nan told him to do, he would do it so as to not create any trouble for Xiao Nan. After quickly drinking his porridge and finding out where his room was, Xiao Dongliang carried his backpack into the room, washed up, and went to bed. In reality, Xiao Dongliang himself was deadbeat. Xiao Nan's decision to let him stay over had made it much easier on Xiao Dongliang. Xiao Dongliang suspected that if he were to return home, he might have fallen asleep once he got on the car. When he arrived home, the cost of the ride would really depend on the conscience of the driver. Zai Sheng allowed Jiao Nan to take her bath first. When he stepped out after his bath, he saw Jiao Nan sitting in front of her desk writing something, with her hair still dripping wet. "Why don't you dry your hair?" The water dripping down from her hair was about to soak through her clothes. Chapter 1589, Father-in-law's Move. The weather is not cold yet. But it's still bad for your body to sleep without drying your hair, Zai Sheng said as he picked up a dry towel and helped Jiao Nan dry her hair. Jiao Nan did not even raise her head. She could not care less. "Even though my hair is long, it dries quite quickly. Just let it drip for a while longer. In less than half an hour, the ends of my hair will definitely be dry. I'll be able to sleep then. I know what I'm doing." "What are you writing?" Zai Sheng did not argue with Jiao Nan. Since he was at home today, he could help Jiao Nan dry her hair. Normally, Jiao Nan would not even shower so late at night, and neither would she be so tired that she would want to lie down on the bed immediately after her bath to sleep for 12 hours. Today was an exceptional situation. "Nothing much. I'm just recording how much we spent on this trip." Jiao Nan closed the accounts book. This had been a habit from her previous lifetime that she had brought over into this one. Even if she no longer counted every single cent carefully and pinched pennies to get by like in her previous lifetime, Jiao Nan felt that it was necessary to have an accounts book like this to keep track of her monthly expenses. "All right, since you've finished recording it, let's go to sleep." Seeing Jiao Nan close the book, Zai Sheng did not hesitate to carry Jiao Nan onto the bed. "It's already very late. Hurry and go to sleep." Zai Sheng kissed Jiao Nan on the eyes and hugged her within his embrace. Jiao Nan hugged Zai Sheng's slender waist. "You're being so obedient today." Was he not going to bother her? Zai Sheng inhaled sharply and gave a hard slap on Jiao Nan's buttocks. "Since you know the situation I'm in, don't provoke me. Even though you don't need to go to work tomorrow, we've had a long day after coming back from our holiday. Rest well. We still have all the time in the world." Although Jiao Nan had just taken a slap on her buttocks, she was not angry. Instead, she chuckled stiffly. With a father like Xiao Dongliang, Jiao Nan had never experienced the most common love a daughter received from her father, let alone being treated like a princess. After being together with Chen Jun, Jiao Nan slowly understood how it felt like to be taken care of and loved by someone. But after getting married to Zai Sheng, Jiao Nan finally understood how it felt to be treated like a princess. If her hair was dripping wet, there would be someone to dry it for her. If she got hurt and bled, Zai Sheng would be even more concerned than her. Just like now, although Zai Sheng clearly wanted it, he knew that her physique was not the best and that the trip had drained her completely of all her energy. As such, he knew that she would need a good rest. Zai Sheng, who was always ferocious and domineering in bed, controlled his urges so as to let her sleep well. It felt so good to be pampered like a princess. Jiao Nan smiled, and the next moment, she was already asleep. Feeling that delicate body in his arms that was not only soft but also fragrant and attractive, Zai Sheng laughed bitterly before hugging Jiao Nan even closer. After reciting the military code of conduct in his heart, he finally fell asleep. That night, everyone had gone to bed early and woken up late the next morning. Thus, everyone was full of energy. Even Xiao Dongliang had forgotten that he was in the Zai family's house instead of his own. And had slept so comfortably that he only got up at 8 o'clock the next day. Seeing that Zai Yaowai and Miaojing had already finished their breakfasts, Xiao Dongliang was extremely embarrassed. Zai Yaowai waved Xiao Dongliang over. "Hurry over and have your breakfast. You have enough rest, but your stomach is probably growling." "Okay, chief." In front of Zai Yaowai, Xiao Dongliang was not only stiff but also nervous. While he was still a soldier, the chief whom he had never had the fate to meet turned out to be his in-law. Now, they were even sitting at the same table to have a meal together. This was like a dream come true for Qiao Dongliang. However, when Qiao Dongliang thought about how this honor was all due to his younger daughter, but his younger daughter had never relied on him after getting married, Qiao Dongliang's mood sank again. Zai Yaowai pushed the soy milk in front of Qiao Dongliang. Let bygones be bygones. It's not that the past isn't important, but if you feel apologetic toward Nan Nan, then even more so, you should seize the present and future to protect your daughter. It's never too late as long as you're still alive. Instead of sitting here and sighing with a guilty expression, he might as well do something more practical to protect his child. Zai Yaowai was used to the iron-blooded military style of handling things. There was no use just thinking. One had to do it. Qiao Dongliang was just wasting his time and life by wallowing in shame and misery. Zai Yaowai's lips twitched. No wonder Qiao Dongliang had left the army so easily after having a second child. If Qiao Dongliang had been a good soldier, his superior would never have agreed to it. His superior would even have persuaded him to stay, or given him a solution to this problem. But Qiao Dongliang leaving with such ease said a lot about his mediocre performance within the army. On the account of their relationship, no one had said anything while he was still in the army. But they were probably over the moon when Qiao Dongliang decided to leave the army on his own accord. In this way, Qiao Dongliang was neither a good soldier nor a good father. So up until today, what was the only thing that Qiao Dongliang had done well? Yes, old chief, you're right. Qiao Dongliang sat upright, just like a young child being disciplined by his teacher. Don't worry, old chief. I'll try my best to help Nan Nan in this situation. Zaijin cannot be saved, but I will never let Zaijin ruin Nan Nan. As for how he was going to do it, Qiao Dongliang was going to have to think carefully about it once he returned home. He had to find a way to win with just one move so that all these news reports could no longer develop, and Qiao Zaijin could no longer continue with her antics. This matter had been going on for almost half a month. Qiao Dongliang felt that it was time to put an end to it. Qiao Dongliang had yet to think of a good solution. The moment Zai Yaowai returned home, he received a piece of news and immediately told Qiao Nan that the time had come. It was said that the public was foolish and easy influenced and cheated. The truth was usually unexpected. As such, even though they held the real truth in their hands, Zai Yaowai had not asked Qiao Nan to prove her innocence right away. If she did so, someone might take that opportunity to accuse her of having a guilty conscience. Otherwise, if she were truly innocent, Qiao Nan would not even need to come out and try to clear her name. After the matter had gone on for a while, many people had already released their pent-up emotions and were relatively calmer. They would naturally follow when Qiao Nan released the truth of the matter. Chapter 1590, Can't Afford to Have Such Relatives. After hearing Zai Yaowai's words, Qiao Nan did not do anything else. All she did was to upload a recording on the platform on which she had been lambasted. Half a month ago, people in the capital may not have recognized the voices of the two women in the recording. But now, once they opened the file, the majority of the public immediately recognized that arrogant voice. It belonged to the sister of a certain minister who had been splashed all over the headlines recently, Qiao Zaijin. After listening to the contents of the recording, anyone with a brain could guess that the other one with a crisp and clear voice belonged to the main person embroiled in this scandal, that minister herself. After identifying the two main characters in the recording, everyone who discovered this uploaded recording and clicked on it to listen could not help but hold their breaths, reduce the ambient noises, and perk up their ears to listen. Once they finished listening to the recording in its entirety, many people were stunned. Was that really the truth of the matter? It could not be denied that the 21st century was the era of the Internet. After this other truth surfaced, many people started to regret, worry, and even hesitate. With two truths, which one was the real truth? And so, there quickly emerged a whole range of keyboard warriors and analysts who tried to determine the veracity of this recording. Very quickly, professionals determined that the recording was indeed complete. He could not tell if anyone had edited the start and end of the recording out, but he could confirm that the entire recording had not been pieced together or edited otherwise. This was because the voice tones of the two people had been the same throughout the whole recording. This showed that the voices had not been altered. As for the analysts, they based their analysis solely on the content of the recording, as well as whatever Qiao Zhaijin had publicly announced to the media in this past month. The analysts expressed that Qiao Zhaijin did not look her age. As for Qiao Nan, she was not only of age but also had the ability to work, and was even far from the age of retirement. Which abled adults with no fixed source of income would not want to find a stable job to support themselves. Would they really accuse their own sister of ignoring them now that their sister had become rich? If Qiao Zhaijin was not looking to glean anything off her sister's fame, why would it be a problem for Qiao Zhaijin if her sister looked down on someone else? Sometimes, it was better if one was not too proud. After all, there would always be a difference between people. The younger sister was a minister, but no one had ever mentioned what the elder sister was. With such a difference in their social statuses, was it bad for the younger sister to be a little proud? Moreover, up until now, there was no evidence to prove that certain ministers' haughty behavior toward Qiao Zhaijin was due to her disdain for Qiao Zhaijin. Could it really be that their relationship was poor solely because of the difference in their statuses? No, such discords between relatives were usually due to money. That certain minister had married well and had a good job. Even if she needed money, she would never have asked for money from Qiao Zhaijin. Conversely, Qiao Zhaijin, who had been making a fuss for the past half a month, did not look like she was at the age of retirement, yet she was not working. From this, it was easy to tell that Qiao Zhaijin was the one who needed money. The results of this analysis were hugely supported by the recording. Anyone who had ears to listen could tell that Qiao Zhaijin's tone in the recording was not only haughty, but she had even shamelessly opened her mouth and made ridiculous demands of her own biological younger sister. Not only had she asked for her sister to provide a living space for her free of charge, but it even had to be a large one, hinting at wanting to live in a villa. Ha ha ha! Where was this? This was the capital. Even renting a basement apartment cost a few hundred yuan a month. She wanted to live on others' expenses, and she even wanted a large space that was quiet, best if it was a villa. How could she be so shameless? They were only sisters, not mother and daughter. Even if they were really mother and daughter, children had no right to make such unreasonable demands toward their parents and force their parents to satisfy them. Similarly, parents should not make such ridiculous and inhumane demands toward their children either. If everyone did so, the world would be in chaos. How many people in the world were like Qiao Zhaijin and had relatives who were able to fulfill such requests? One had to be all sorts of rich to dare to even call Qiao Zhaijin their sister. Was Qiao Zhaijin made of gold? Or would they be able to live longer if they were to acknowledge Qiao Zhaijin as their sister? Otherwise, why did the elder sister not need to take care of the younger sister? Quite the contrary, it was the younger sister who had to support the elder sister and fulfill her demands. They really wanted to curse and swear. One must have accumulated bad luck over 10 lifetimes to have such an elder sister. It was enough that she had hinted at wanting to live in a villa, but Qiao Zhaijin had still been so casual and gave off an air that said, "It's only because I think highly of you that I'm taking your money." It was as though Qiao Zhaijin thought that giving her 4,000 or 5,000 yuan a month was giving her sister a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to bless her. "I'm not taking more from you because I'm not greedy as an elder sister. I'm not taking more because I'm the best sister in the world." The analyst wanted to laugh out loud. It was true that 4,000 or 5,000 yuan was not a large sum in the capital. But the problem was that looking at one's salary alone, 4,000 or 5,000 was not considered small either. But, and this was the biggest but, she wanted it for free. Free. As an elder sister, she was taking money from her younger sister with an attitude as though she deserved it. Was this really a thing? If this was considered normal, and that certain minister did not refuse such a ridiculous request, everyone with siblings did not even need to think about living anymore. What? Did you say that the minister was rich and the ordinary person was not, so it would be all right for the minister to spare them some? After all, no matter how ridiculous Xiao Zijian's demands were, this was just a small change to that minister. Ha ha ha! Even if that minister had chanced upon a windfall, it was normal for her to support her parents. But was it really her duty to support her sister and her niece? If Xiao Zijian was paraplegic, blind, or bedridden, and had no way of providing for herself, then perhaps you could say that. But even if one had too much money, they should never spend it on someone who was able-bodied and was not disabled in any way, and was even lazing around at home. If you were in her place, would you agree to it? Then, that would be good news for all the elder siblings out there. They did not need to study or work anymore. They did not need to worry about their future because there would be someone who would provide for them. It would be all right even if there was no villa. They could just squeeze together under the same roof,